Hey there, my name is Lexi, and thank you so much for joining me today. Today is going to be just a little pep talk, something that came to mind because I had a conversation with one of my friends, and it led me to think a little bit more deeply about things in life. If you don't know me by now, then you should know that when certain people say certain things, it triggers thoughts within my mind, and it causes me to dig deeper so that I can have a better understanding of why I'm feeling a certain way about certain things or why I do things the way that I do them. And I like when people tell me things or show me things that make me think in a way I probably would not have thought before. And so this pep talk is another one of those moments where I just want to share it with you because it's helping me to break down some walls and break down some barriers that might otherwise be getting in the way of my personal growth. So the purpose of me sharing this pep talk and any other pep talk that I do, the purpose of me sharing these things with you is so that you can learn from me, and also so maybe some of the things that I talk about, it will fire off some new reactions within your own mind and have you thinking of things that you probably would not have thought of otherwise. So basically, the pep talk that I want to get into today is called Fail Fast. And basically, I was having a conversation with one of my gym buddies, and he was giving me some advice on what to do when I'm working out. Now, when I work out, I do it 3 to 5 times a week. I follow Instagram fitness people, and I choose workouts based on what part of my body I want to work on for that day. And what I usually do is follow their workout routine exactly. And what they usually recommend is to count repetitions and then do a certain amount of sets. So what I was doing is it would be like 3 sets, 20 reps each per exercise. So I would do those exercises. I would find a weight that's kind of challenging, but not too challenging for me to not be able to finish the 20. And I would count, all right, 1, 2, 5, 7, 13, 19, 20, until I got to the number that was already in my mind. But what my friend was recommending to me when he was talking to me about working out, he said, well, why do you count to numbers? And I said, well, because it's just what the people do that I follow. They do numbers. He said, well, I don't like to follow numbers because it limits my mind. In my mind, it makes me think that I can't go past a certain amount, or it makes me focus too much on how many I'm doing versus how many I can do. And that to me was like the single most powerful thing he said to me in that moment. And I started thinking to myself, like, damn, what if I am limiting my own physical growth as well because I'm not even seeing if I can go past 20. I'm so focused on, can I get to this preset number, instead of seeing how many can I get to before it absolutely hurts, before I'm absolutely tired, before I can go on any further past this particular exercise that I'm doing. And it got me to thinking, like, maybe not just in fitness, but with a lot of other things in life, maybe we don't get as far as we think we could, or we don't get as far. It got me thinking, maybe we don't get as far as we might like to in life because we already have these limitations on our mind. We already have like a set number of how long it's going to take us to do something, or how much of something we envision ourselves having before we reach quote unquote success, or before we've made it. And it got me to thinking, like, how many of us are limiting ourselves because we have this preconceived notion of what it's supposed to be. Whatever your it is, my particular thing being music, why do so many of us who are chasing the superstar status, why do we give ourselves like a year time limit? Like, if I don't make such and such in 5 years, or if I don't make such and such this amount of money, or if I don't get this amount of plaques, if I don't have this amount of collaborations under my belt within X amount of years, then I'm just going to stop. Why do we do that instead of saying, I wonder how far I can go? Why do we place those limitations in our mind to where we don't think we can achieve something great if we're out of a certain number, or a certain numerical value? You know what I'm trying to say? And it doesn't have to be just music. It can be anything that you're involved in, or any kind of goals that you find yourself going after, Why do we place these preconceived notions? And who tells us that we have to make a certain amount or we have to do a certain amount of deeds by a certain time in a certain amount of years? It's an extremely limiting mindset to have when you place a number on things versus just saying, I wonder how far I can go. I wonder how many I can do. So to bring that back to the whole gym analogy and to wrap this up into the title of this topic, which is fail fast, it got me to thinking, what if I change my workout routines so that I did it to failure instead of counting how many repetitions I can do? And what started to happen is, because my body was kind of at that plateau where I was maintaining a certain aesthetic and a certain tone, but I wasn't necessarily getting the gains that I want. And that's also attributed to maybe I don't eat as well as I should, or I don't have my diet mapped out as well as I should to get the gains that I want. But that's another video. But anyway, it got me to thinking like, all right, I need to change up my workout routine. What can I do? Instead of following to the T what these IG fitness people are telling me to do, I decided, all right, instead of 3 sets, I'm just gonna do 2. Instead of 20 repetitions, I'm going to go until I literally cannot go anymore. And what I started to notice was I stopped counting. I stopped worrying about the time, because I used to time my workouts as well. Like, all right, I'm gonna do 30 seconds of this particular exercise, or I'm gonna do 20 reps of this particular exercise. I stopped doing that. I tuned in more to whatever podcast I was listening to or whatever music I was listening to, and I just did the movement, stayed in good form. I got myself a challenging weight, and a lot of times I even tried to go a little bit heavier, but I got myself a challenging weight to where I knew, okay, I can usually do at least 20 with this, but instead of counting, let me just keep going until it hurts. And sometimes it would feel like it would take me forever before it started hurting. So then I started to think, all right, well, this is taking a really long time. I'm not trying to be in the gym all day. Let me up the ante. Let me put a little bit more weight on myself and see if it takes me a little bit less time, or if it feels like it takes me less amount of time to get to failure, to where my legs are shaking, my knees are shaking, like my arms hurt. Let me see if I can go up in weight so I can be done with this quicker. And what I started to notice was I was challenging myself in a way that I had not challenged myself fitness-wise before. And I started to feel a lot more soreness after my workouts. Like the day after or 2 days after my workouts, my booty would be hurting, my side booty would be hurting, my legs would be hurting, my arms are on fire, and it was the feeling that I had missed when I first started working out, because my body was so new to all of the movements and all of the resistance that I was now placing on it. That's how my body started feeling again, which is extremely exciting for me. All of that to say is, I began to put more onto myself to see, how can I fail a little bit more quickly? How can I make it so that I'm not taking so much time to get through these exercises? And how that all relates to this prep talk of fail fast. I finally understand, and it finally clicked in my mind, what people mean when they say fail fast. What's meant by fail fast is, you want to make as many mistakes as you can as quickly as possible so that you can learn as quickly as you can how much you can take, how much you can do, what you can do, when you can do it, where you can do it, all of the things that are associated with that. Fail fast. You don't have to take up as much time as you think. You don't have to stop when you think you have to stop. You don't have to keep going until it really hurts. Like, I don't know, let me try to put this in a better phrasing. Fitness-wise, when you are trying to fail fast, you are trying to challenge yourself with a heavy weight, and you're trying to challenge yourself like, how quickly can I make my body just say no? How many times can I go until I absolutely feel like I'm about to fall out? And I think the same can be applied in life. What can I do? What kinds of things can I place on myself? What kind of situations can I get into? Or what kind of talents can I explore to make me kind of feel less than comfortable, but in a way that's going to stretch me and make me see, okay, this is my limit. I was doing this before, but now let me see how much further I can go. Let me see how much I can put on my plate. Let me see how much I can really handle. And when you fail fast, You learn what you can handle, you learn what you can't handle, you learn what you do very well, you learn what you need to improve in, the areas that you need improvement in. And that is basically what this whole talk is about, really. Fail fast. What can I do to challenge myself? What can I do to say to myself, all right, I have this goal in mind. How much can I do? How long can I do it before I can't do it anymore? And see how far that gets you, instead of just putting some preconceived, preset number in your mind. And see what happens for you when, whatever industry you're in, just see what happens for you when you put your mind to it and just say, all right, I'm just going to keep going. I'm going to just go as hard as I can for as long as I can and see what happens. And then once you figure that out, or once you hit a brick wall, you can try another challenge and see how far you get in that. But that's really all I have for this pep talk today. I hope you found it inspirational, and I hope that I said something that triggered new reactions in your mind to think of new things that you can do and new tactics that you can apply to your own industry, to your own goals. But my name is LexC. Let me know if you want some more pep talks like this, what kinds of things you would like pep talks on. Let me know in the comment section or email me. My email is in the description down below. But thank you so much for joining me for today. Until next time, my name is LexC. Peace.